The surprising mistakes people make with sardines. Sardines are one of the rare fish that stay naturally low in mercury. That's why they're considered among the safest seafood you can eat regularly. These tiny swimmers carry big benefits, protecting your heart, fueling your brain, and even strengthening your bones. Inside each can, you'll find a rich supply of protein, omega-3 fatty acids, calcium, and vitamins your body can't go without. But here's the catch. Many people unknowingly ruin those advantages with a few common missteps. Maybe you've grabbed the wrong type off the store shelf without noticing. Or perhaps you've left leftovers sitting too long, letting them spoil before your next meal. Some even rinse sardines underwater, believing it makes them healthier, when in reality, it can wash away valuable nutrients. And the biggest mistake? Throwing out the very part that's packed with the most goodness. The truth is, sardines don't lose their power inside the can. They lose it in the way we handle them after. From poor storage habits to careless cooking, these little fish often get stripped of their benefits before they ever reach your plate. In today's video, I'll show you the most common errors people make with sardines. Some may look minor at first, but once you see the reasons behind them, you'll realize how much they actually matter. Stick with me until the end, and you'll know exactly how to get the best flavor, the best nutrition, and the full value from every bite. Before we dive in, I'd love a small favor. Tap the like button and subscribe so you can join our growing community of health-minded eaters. And if this is the kind of video you want more of, just type yes in the comments so we know you're with us. All right, let's get started. Mistake number 10. Tossing away the bones. A mistake many people make with sardines is taking the bones out. With larger fish, removing bones makes sense. They're hard, sharp, and can be risky. But sardines aren't like that. Their bones are soft, edible, and completely safe to chew because the canning process pressure cooks them until they're tender. Most of the time, you don't even realize you're eating them. Here's the part most people don't know. Those tiny bones are a powerhouse of nutrition. They're one of the richest natural sources of calcium you can find in seafood. Just a single portion of sardines, bones included, delivers more than 1/3 of your daily calcium needs. That calcium keeps your skeleton strong, your teeth sturdy, and your muscles functioning properly. On top of that, sardine bones also provide vitamin D, the key nutrient that allows your body to actually absorb and use calcium. Together, calcium and vitamin D form the ultimate defense team for protecting bone health as you age. When you strip out the bones, you're not just making extra work, you're throwing away the very nutrients that make sardines so valuable. And the funny thing is, you really can't taste them. The bones blend seamlessly with the meat, so most people can't even tell where the fish ends and the bone begins. Yes, you can find sardines that have already been deboned, but they often cost more and usually look less appealing because the deboning process breaks the fish apart. In other words, you pay a higher price for fewer nutrients and a worse presentation. The easy fix? Keep the bones. They're safe, incredibly nutritious, and almost unnoticeable once you take a bite. Think of them as nature's hidden bonus, one of the reasons sardines rank among the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. Mistake number 9. Picking sardines in water instead of oil. One of the most common errors happens before you even open the can, right there at the store shelf. Many people grab the version packed in water, thinking it must be the healthier choice. Fewer calories, lighter taste. Sounds good, doesn't it? But in reality, choosing water-packed sardines means sacrificing both taste and nutrition. Here's why. Sardines are naturally loaded with beneficial fats, especially omega-3s. These are the exact fats that calm inflammation, protect your heart, and support brain function. Oil helps lock in those nutrients and keeps the fish moist. Water, on the other hand, does the opposite. It strips away flavor, leaves the texture dry, and over time even causes a metallic taste as the natural oils in the fish break down. Oil isn't just about flavor. It acts like a natural barrier, slowing oxidation and preserving both freshness and nutrients. That's why sardines stored in good quality oil, like olive oil, often taste richer and actually improve as they sit. Yes, they carry more calories, but those calories come from healthy fats your body thrives on. So the difference is clear. A tin of sardines in oil delivers better taste and more complete nutrition, while the water-packed version leaves you with less of both. If you want the full benefits and flavor sardines have to offer, skip the water-packed cans and reach for those preserved in quality oil. Mistake number 8, Leaving open sardines too long, this is a slip-up almost everyone makes sooner or later, opening a can of sardines and then letting it sit around for days. An unopened tin is fine for years, but once you break that seal, the countdown begins. Air quickly starts to damage the fish. The healthy oils that make sardines so valuable begin to oxidize, which dulls the taste and destroys the very omega-3 fats your body needs. The longer they sit, the less benefit, and the worse the flavor you'll get. How long they stay good depends on what they're packed in. If your sardines are in water, they spoil the fastest, usually within 24 hours. Those in oil will hold up for about 2 to 3 days in the fridge, while ones in tomato sauce might stretch to 4 days. But once a week has passed, no matter the type, they're unsafe to eat. Another mistake? Leaving them in the original can. Once opened, the metal reacts with air, speeding up spoilage and leaving an unpleasant metallic taste. That's why food experts always recommend transferring leftovers into a clean, airtight glass or plastic container as soon as possible. This simple step slows nutrient loss and keeps the flavor intact. Yes, you can freeze sardines to make them last longer, but freezing changes their texture and makes them softer. The smartest approach is to only open what you'll eat in a day or two, and always store the rest properly. This one small habit keeps your sardines fresher, safer, and just as nourishing as the day you opened the tin. Mistake number 7, forgetting expiration dates and proper storage. Many people believe canned fish lasts forever, but that's a dangerous misconception. Sardines can indeed stay fresh for years, but only when they're kept in the right conditions. Heat, light, and moisture are their biggest enemies. Leaving cans on a sunny windowsill, next to the stove, or in a damp pantry speeds up the breakdown of both the can and the fish inside. Over time, the oils inside start to oxidize, the flavor turns unpleasant, and the nutrients slowly disappear. In more serious cases, a weakened can may allow bacteria to grow, making the food unsafe. Here's another detail many people overlook. Not all sardines store equally well. Those packed in tomato sauce or other acidic bases deteriorate faster than sardines preserved in oil. If you buy both types, it's best to eat the tomato or sauce-packed cans first and save the oil-packed ones for longer storage. Before opening any can, always give it a careful inspection. Signs like bulging, rust spots, dents near the seams, or any leakage mean the sardines are no longer safe. Don't take risks, just throw it out. Think of it this way, sardines are one of the cheapest and most nutrient-dense foods you can buy. Don't let careless storage ruin them, and more importantly, don't put your health on the line. With a little attention, you can make sure every can stays fresh, safe, and packed with all the nutrition it's meant to deliver. Mistake number 6. Only eating them plain from the can. One of the biggest perks of sardines is their convenience. Just open the can and they're ready. But here's the problem. If that's the only way you eat them, you'll get bored fast and miss out on all the creative ways they can shine. Sardines aren't just a quick snack. They can be the star ingredient in countless dishes. Try this. Mash them with avocado, plain yogurt, or a drizzle of olive oil to create a creamy, protein-packed spread for toast or crackers. On bread, top with onions, capers, or tomato slices for a Mediterranean-style bite that tastes gourmet but takes minutes. They also work beautifully in hot dishes. Toss them into pasta sauce right before serving for extra richness and omega-3s. Or stir them into a veggie stir-fry at the end so they stay whole while adding flavor and protein. Even pizza becomes more exciting with sardines. Their savory, salty kick pairs perfectly with fresh herbs, peppers, and olives. And don't forget breakfast. Adding sardines to scrambled eggs or folding them into an omelet turns a simple meal into a nutrient-dense powerhouse. Beyond flavor, combining sardines with vegetables, grains, and healthy fats actually helps your body use their nutrients better. For example, eating them with vitamin C-rich foods like tomatoes or bell peppers boosts your ability to absorb iron. Sure, it's fine to enjoy them straight out of the can sometimes, but don't stop there. With just a bit of imagination, sardines can transform into a versatile, delicious, and deeply nourishing ingredient that keeps your meals exciting. Mistake number 5. Believing all sardines are the same. A lot of people think every can of sardines will taste identical, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Just like coffee, wine, or cheese, sardines come with their own unique flavors, textures, and qualities depending on where they're caught, how they're processed, and even the season. Take their origin, for example. Sardines from the Atlantic, Mediterranean, and Pacific can taste completely different because the water temperature, the fish's diet, and the local environment all shape the final flavor. Cold water sardines, like those from Norway, are usually firmer with a clean, mild taste. By contrast, sardines from warmer seas tend to be softer, richer, and oilier. Timing also matters. Fish caught in spring often taste lighter, while those harvested later in the year are fattier and more robust. And then there's the packing liquid, which changes everything. Olive oil, tomato sauce, mustard, or plain water each bring out very different notes. Spanish and Portuguese sardines packed in high-quality olive oil are famous for developing complex, mellow flavors as they age. Some brands even smoke their sardines or use spiced oils to add an extra punch. So if you've tried one can and didn't like it, don't give up. Chances are, you just haven't found the style that suits your taste yet. With so many varieties, origins, and packing styles, sardines are far from one size fits all. Explore a little, and you might discover a whole new world of flavor hiding inside those tins. Mistake number 4. Combining sardines with clashing flavors. Sardines are oily, savory, and full of depth, which makes them powerful in any dish. But that intensity also means they need the right companions on the plate. One of the most common mistakes is pairing them with flavors that compete instead of complement. The secret is contrast. Sardines taste best when matched with ingredients that cut through their richness, bright, acidic, or fresh elements that bring balance. A squeeze of lemon, a splash of vinegar, a spoonful of capers, or even fresh tomatoes can transform them. Pickled vegetables also work wonders, giving sharp notes that highlight the fish rather than hide it. Fresh herbs like dill, parsley, or cilantro add a clean lift that keeps the dish from feeling heavy. So what should you steer clear of? Thick cream sauces, buttery toppings, or overly sweet pairings. Combining cream with sardines' natural oiliness usually ends up overwhelming your taste buds. Sweet glazes or fruit-based flavors often clash with their natural saltiness, creating a strange, unpleasant mix. Here's a quick example. Sardines on toast with lemon and herbs taste bright and refreshing, while sardines buried under a heavy cheese sauce feel overly rich and hard to enjoy. It's not that you can't experiment, but balance is everything. When you choose the right partners, sardines stop being just canned fish and become a vibrant gourmet ingredient that feels fresh, exciting, and unforgettable. Mistake number 3, washing away the goodness. This one might shock you. A habit many people have with sardines, rinsing them under the tap before eating, does far more harm than good. The idea is usually to cut back on salt, oil, or that strong, fishy taste. But here's the truth. Rinsing doesn't solve those problems. Instead, it strips away flavor and nutrients that took months to develop. The liquid sardines are packed in, whether oil, brine, or sauce, is not just filler. It's part of the preservation process. Over time, the fish and the liquid exchange flavor, and essential nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids and fat-soluble vitamins actually migrate into that liquid. When you rinse them, you're pouring those benefits right down the drain. With oil-packed sardines, rinsing makes things even worse. Oil and water don't mix, so the fish often fall apart, turning mushy and unappealing. The same is true for sardines in tomato or mustard sauce. The tangy, balanced flavors that enhance the fish are washed away, leaving them bland. And about the salt? Rinsing doesn't really fix that either. During canning, sodium is absorbed into the fish itself, not just sitting on the surface. A smarter approach is to choose low-sodium sardines or simply use less salt in the rest of your meal. That way, you enjoy the flavor and keep the nutrition intact. Think of it like this. Rinsing sardines is like erasing months of careful flavor building in just a few seconds. Instead of washing it all away, enjoy the oil, brine, or sauce. It's part of what makes sardines unique and nutritious. Mistake number 2, skipping sardines because of a fishy reputation. One of the biggest turnoffs people mention about sardines is that they think the flavor is just too strong. But here's the truth. Sardines are fish, and they're meant to have a taste of the ocean. When they're good quality and handled properly, the flavor should be clean, savory, and lightly salty, almost like a fresh sea breeze. If your sardines taste overly intense or unpleasant, the problem usually isn't the fish itself. It's more likely that they weren't stored correctly, are past their prime, or they're simply not being paired with the right foods. Instead of trying to mask the flavor, the trick is to brighten it up. A squeeze of lemon, a drizzle of vinegar, or even a bit of tomato sauce can cut through the richness and make them taste lively. Fresh herbs like parsley, dill, or cilantro add a burst of freshness that balances everything out. Quality plays a huge role too. Sardines packed in high-quality olive oil or rich tomato sauce tend to taste far cleaner and smoother than cheaper versions. And here's something fascinating. Your taste buds can adapt. If you rarely eat fish, sardines might taste strong at first, but as you keep trying them, you begin to notice their subtle sweetness and depth of flavor. So instead of dismissing sardines as too fishy, give them another shot. Try them in a salad, pair them with crunchy vegetables, or top with a splash of citrus. You may be surprised at how quickly that strong flavor turns into something you actually crave. Mistake number 1. Pouring away the valuable oil. This is probably the biggest mistake people make with sardines, draining the oil and dumping it down the sink. That golden liquid isn't waste at all. It's packed with both nutrition and flavor. Here's why. When sardines are stored in oil, there's a slow exchange that happens over time. The fish release some of their natural juices into the oil, while the oil infuses back into the fish. Months of this process turn the oil into a powerhouse, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, fat-soluble vitamins like D, E, and even a boost of savory depth. In short, that oil becomes liquid nutrition. Tossing it away means you're not just losing calories, you're throwing out nutrients that support your heart, brain, and immune system. And from a cooking perspective, that oil is a free flavor enhancer most chefs would be thrilled to have. There are plenty of ways to use it. Drizzle it over a salad instead of bottled dressing. Sauté vegetables with it for pasta or rice. Stir it into a stew or soup for extra body. Or simply dip fresh bread in it with a squeeze of lemon and some herbs. Even better, the flavor of the oil often gets more complex after you open the can. If you store it properly in the fridge for a few days, it can deepen and make your meals even tastier. Sardine oil is far too valuable to waste. Treat it like the secret ingredient it truly is. Who should be cautious with sardines? Sardines are often praised as one of the most nutritious foods you can buy, but like any powerful food, they aren't a perfect fit for everyone. Certain groups of people should pay closer attention before making them a daily habit. First, those with high blood pressure or salt sensitivity. Most canned sardines are preserved in brine, oil, or sauce, and that usually means a high sodium content. Too much salt can raise blood pressure, so choosing low sodium options is the smarter move. Second, people with gout or elevated uric acid levels. Sardines are naturally rich in purines, which the body converts into uric acid. For someone sensitive, eating too many can trigger painful gout flare-ups. The same applies to individuals prone to kidney stones, especially uric acid stones, since excess purines may increase the risk. In these cases, moderation and medical guidance are important. And finally, pregnant women. The upside is sardines are among the safest fish to eat because they contain very little mercury compared to large fish like tuna or swordfish. However, since canned sardines often come in salty brine or oil, it's best to keep an eye on sodium and calorie intake if you're eating them frequently. So, my friend, sardines may be small, but they carry enormous power for your health. By avoiding these common mistakes